No good jokes? No good jokes?
Oh, no, we just had a good one. I can't say it to the cameras. I'll tell you guys we're out there off camera on this one later. Sorry.
Have you decided on a quarterback?
Yeah, Aidan O'Connell, right? Aidan's he's looking good. We'll throw the ball a little bit today in practice, but he's done good over the last 2 days, just in walkthroughs and obviously indoors. But we'll see how it looks today. But he feel good about Aidan. He's been dialed in, obviously, throughout this time that he's been on IR. He's been all the meetings. He's been very encouraging on the sideline. He's got that laser eye focus right now. Great opportunity for him.
Antonio, I know every game is important in the NFL, but does this one carry any extra significance, any feeling of, what better time to snap a streak against defending champs, whole country watching,
Yeah, it's called spade to spade, right? The best team in football against the worst team in football. Let's change the narrative, right? Let's go out there and make it a dog fight. Let's make it ugly. Let's make it scrappy. It's Black Friday. Let's create a little chaos. Let's get back to, Raider football and have some fun and some personality and let it loose.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about win-loss records not really mattering in division games and particularly in a rivalry like this? You guys are the last team to win at Arrowhead.
Yeah. It really doesn't matter. Records go out the window just like they did last year when we played them on Christmas Day. So they understand that. We understand that. They'll be excited just like we will be excited for this game. Only 2 teams playing that day, right? So great opportunity for us to showcase, what's improving about the Raiders, right? What's different? What's going to change? And obviously we got a chance to do that at 2 o'clock. The rivalry is what it is. I think if you look at the last couple games, we played them close. It's been back and forth, and it's been physical, and they're going to come after us. We know them, they know us, and it's a lot of trash talking, and they don't like the color of silver and black, and we don't like red, so it should be fun.
What have you seen out of Aidan O'Connell in the time that he was injured that really kind of gave you the inkling that he was chomping at the bit to get at this and give you the hope that he can really move the football?
He carried himself like a starter. He carried like a starter even when he was on IR, and he did that when he was a backup. He did a great job of just being engaged with the players, engaged on the sideline. It don't matter in meeting rooms or that. He's the one speaking up, talking. You could just look at his eyes. You could look at his demeanor. It wasn't a guy like, all right, I'm out for the season. I'm not going to play. No. I'll be back. I'm ready to be back, and he worked his tail off to get back.
When you watched the film last week, I know you were a little uneasy with how many passes compared to the runs. The balance there. But when you did see what you guys were doing in the running game, did you feel like it's getting close to breaking through?
Yeah, no. When I said it wasn't that I was frustrated but happy. I wish we could run the ball more and had more opportunities to do that. But that's also because of the score. I get that as well. But when I look at the 16 or whatever plus runs that we had in the game, one, we had a hat for a hat. Our running backs were decisive. We hit the hole hard. There was some physicality that showed up that we've been looking at. There was some movement amongst our offensive line. There's a lot of positives really in the running game. And it's hard to say that after a loss, right? You guys are asking me, hey, what's going on with this? I want to talk about the positives, but you're asking about the negatives, so I hit that. But the running game was really good. I'm excited about Sincere this week. Fired up to see him carry the ball. I thought Amir did a really good job. And more importantly, I thought those 5-0 linemen really strapped it up, and got after Denver. And again, it doesn't show on the stat sheet, but when you look at those plays for the amount we ran, I love the play style.
Highly productive, sincere college player, close to 1,500 yards in his sophomore and junior years. Did it feel like there was just a natural run ability there with him in terms of seeing it and hitting it?
I'll be honest, we see it every day in practice, just opportunities, right? There's how many guys you can dress. You can't dress 5 running backs each week, and you don't want to see it happen through injuries or guys being inactive or hurt or anything of that nature. But when he got in there, his first carry was 10+ yards, and the next one, he's bouncing off guys, and just the energy that he brought to our offense, you really like that. I've seen that in practice, and it was funny. Me and him joked even last week. I think it was one of his first or second carries. He ran about 5 or 10 yards and turned back around. I said, "How many career rushing yards you have?" He said, 0. I said, "Well, then your ass needs to start learning how to run in the end zone." And that's how he ran the game. He ran like they weren't going to tackle him, and he ran like a big boy. And again, I'm excited to see him this weekend or this Friday.
Does that mean Alex and Zamir are both down?
I would say Zamir is doubtful and Alex is questionable.
Any guys?
Tom McMahon was out from the game. Is he back in the building, or do you expect him back for the game?
He's back in the building. He's been at practice. He'll be out there today. We'll see what happens for the game.
Coach, it is Thanksgiving, and obviously it's been a tough season, but what have you been most thankful for from your players and just during the season period? So.
Their professionalism, coming to work every day, win, lose, or draw. I mean, it's hard to keep sitting there telling you all the positives when we're 2-9, but the reality is our guys come to work Monday, man, ready to go. They get in the weight room. They're on time. We're not dealing with a lot of BS and drama inside the building. the effort and the ability to come to work and put their hat on every day with all the noise from the outside and the record. You'll think we're 9-2 sometimes. I wish you could go in the locker room and see how these guys act or in our meeting rooms, but heads are not down. Guys are not packing up the U-Haul. So I'm thankful for just our players being dialed in, buying into the culture, using that word process, understand the process, and being committed to what we're trying to do with this organization, and even this season, because it's not over with. We're going to try to win every game possible. And I'm thankful that, I'm sitting here as the head coach of the Raiders, and I got, 200-plus people every day that come up to me with a smile and enjoy being a Raider and working for the Raiders. So I'm excited and thankful for that, and this will be a thankful Friday, and we'll make it a Black Friday when it gets to the game day.
If you have a lot of young players playing this year, do you do anything differently or prepare them any differently because you're playing Kansas City, or is it status quo?
No, status quo. They know it. Hell, they've been hearing that war chant for the last 48 hours. They're ready to kill me on that one. So they'll hear it again today. I'm sure we'll hear it on Friday. But young guys, man, like I said, the way I try to set up our schedule and our scripts each and every day is to give them opportunities throughout the weeks and practice with developmental, the way we compete on scout team. So you see what you're going to get. What's sincere in the game I saw for 8 or 9 weeks. You just had to do it on Sunday. And now that other guys are getting that opportunity, what I always tell them is, I don't know if you're going to be up for next week. You better get this opportunity and make the most of it now. So they understand that. And for the most part, most of our guys do a really good job of taking the opportunity and running with it.
Speaking of that opportunity, DCAM was thrown into the deep end last week, and sink or swim, right? It's tough, obviously, but what has his demeanor been like preparing for this week, knowing he came off a tough game last week?
Short-term memory. Right? If you play quarter in this league, they're going to catch the ball. I tell Jack that all the time. Jack, ain't nobody ever going to catch the ball on him. And Jack had a really good game last week, but they caught a touchdown on him. And DCAM, look, they caught some balls on you. But one thing about it, he never flinched, he didn't blink, and we wasn't going to bring him out. He's got to go out there and he's got to learn. He's out there with the big boys. And Sutton's a really good player, and they got some good players this week. But our players going to be pretty good too. DCAM's going to be a good corner. And he has the mentality, he has the speed, he has the mindset of what we want our Raider corners to look like. The production will take place over time.
At the end of the game, he had a nice pass breakup. Did you start to see him that, okay, the growth, he's figuring it out?
Well, to me, it's not so much him, it's how the teammates responded. You saw Isaiah Palomar, you saw our sideline really get after him. Like, man, hell of a job, great job. It wasn't like, oh, man, damn, finally. They're like, yeah, that's what you're doing. That's what we're talking about. Like, that's what you want to see, man. We're encouraging one another. We're not discouraged by what's going on. Yeah, we're frustrated as hell, but, man, listen, we're out there with young boys, they battling, and we'll take that all day.
Antonio, earlier this season, Travis Kelce, people were talking about maybe he was a step slow this year, or starting to show some age. Now you look up and he's right there and catches and everything. What makes him so difficult to deal with?
Everything. He's skilled, he's savvy, he's a vet. There's not a coverage that he hasn't seen. Him and the quarterback are like dialed in all the way. They're running their own routes. Those aren't being drawn up by Andy Reid. That's 15 and 87 playing backyard football at times. And the thing about it, he's a competitor. I even saw in our game, there was a lot of trash talk in his offseason, and he was giving it back to us, and we were giving it to him. So, and he likes playing the Raiders, right? He always makes that known. So I think when you watch him play, what you're looking at is an ultimate professional who's going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends of our time, probably more likely a gold jacket, and we have respect for him. And I think the one thing you can't question is his toughness and his love and passion for the game, and he's a winner.
Way early in Brock Bowers' career, but can you see a version of him down the road like that, where he's locked in with his quarterback like that? They're playing that.
Yeah, you want to keep that quarterback and the tight end got to be the same guys, though, right? Continuity, and that's the biggest difference between us and them. The same guys throwing him the ball each and every time. We want to get that for Brock Bowers as well.
So, sounds like Pacheco is back this week. How much does he kind of change their offense?
I love watching him play. Hate playing against him. Tough, rugged. He's a running back that you enjoy watching. And our team is excited to play him. I go back to even that Christmas Day, how hard he was running and how hard he was hitting them. Helmet was flying off, and this dude gets up with them dreads, and he energizes their team. So it's a tough matchup. We're expecting him to play. We know what this game means to him and their team. But obviously, we got to bring our hard hat mentality for him.
For you guys, what is the status on Nate and Jacorian?
Both will be out.
That's good.
Cool.
All right, thanks.
All right,
Thanks.